This thing is totally wanged. Ugh. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flat Thunder channel. My name's Andy. We got the old 843 Bobcat out, and then we have the Quick Attach Titan Industries 3-point hitch adapter plate here. And previously I was using this with the boom pole, as you may have seen in previous videos. And I tried to pick up something just a little bit too heavy. By a little bit too heavy, I mean way too heavy. And it really put a wang in this tool plate. I'll take you off there and show you what we're working with. It's not good. And this is straight, that is straight, but this part here is pushed out quite a bit. It's not supposed to do this nice little curve. When I bent this unit, I had the boom pole in the front, and I was trying to pick up something that it just wasn't meant to pick up. I suspected the boom pole would have broken or yielded before this plate, but this plate's not supported in the ends, and as I picked it up, the plate just pretty much sat down with the boom pole and fell off of the front of the Bobcat. So luckily no one was hurt during that. I don't have it on video because I wasn't going to plan to do anything exciting. I was just moving some stuff around, and now I can't use this because it'll fall off the front. So we're going to try to get this jacked around and hopefully straightened out enough so it'll stay on the front of the tool plate here and make it usable again. Moved out front so we can get a closer reach on the welder. And if you couldn't tell from in the bucket, this end is down where it's supposed to be, this end is down where it's supposed to be, but the middle is humped way up. So you need to push this down, and there's many different ways to do that, but right now I'm trying to go with the easiest way. And I have this old Reese receiver hitch that was cut off of the scrap truck, the big mean green parts machine. Drop down in the description, I'll leave a link to that video series that we salvaged. So I'm going to go ahead and zip this guy on here, and then we're going to take our porta power with the clamshell jaws and stick it in there and try to expand that and get her to pop back into place. So we're gonna have to get some really hot welds here on the ends, obviously clean up that rust and clean off the paint, and then we'll be able to start jacking on this thing. Man, that material is really rusty on the end of that old Reese hitch. I'll take you down there and show you all the different craters and crevices in the end plate. We may break this off trying to straighten this, but we can always re-weld it. The goal here is to try to weld it as little as possible so you have less you have to clean up and cut off to remove it. If the angle is good from there, but all those dark spots are massive dips and crevices where it's just all rusty. Get a little weld there on both sides and see what happens. That ought to do. So here's the clamshell deal that I'm talking about. It basically opens up, maybe an alligator jaw if you want to change the description. I've heard it called many different things, but it basically spreads apart as you apply pressure to the porta power. We're going to shove this in between the plate and that old Reese receiver hitch we just put on. You're not going to believe this, but we had to take time to fill up this old porta power because she didn't have any oil in her. Let's see what she's going to do. looks kind of decent here on this side, but the other side's still humped up. Have a pretty good, I don't want to stick my finger in there. You got a pretty good gap here, quite a bit tighter on the other side. Just gonna try to work it the rest of the way across here. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere. It's got one heck of a load. I practically have to jump on that thing to get it to open anymore. And this looks a whole lot more straight now. Big old gap in there. Yeah. So we got it mounted back onto the front of the tool plate here. We can't get this side of the locking pin to engage in the bottom. I think that's partially how it was bent. We're gonna go get the wedge and try to work on this a little bit more out here while it's on the skid loader. See if we can't get her worked around using the skid loader as a reference. We need to rebuild all these locking pins, and we still need to rebuild this center connection here. Ah. Ah. I think she's pretty darn close. Let me get another push right around in here. Ah. Whoa. Whoa, you guys all right? The porta power alligator or clamshell kind of came flying out and hitting you. I think we're pretty darn good here, or at least as good as I'm going to get it. In the future, we're going to weld in. In the future, we're going to weld in some reinforcement here from the center section out over. The reason this bent is largely because it's only supported from here to there, from there to there. The center section is free, and this is where your center link attaches. Never a dull moment when the wheel of death comes out. Let's get those welds cut off. Oh. All right, this is the first time the boom pole is on the back of the old 843 Bobcat since I bent the crap out of this plate. Now we can finally use it again, obviously not to pick up the same thing that bent it. Been itching to get this fifth wheel air slider off of the back of old Margaret here. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that up and put it in storage so we can start working on removing that old hoist dump mechanism. Yep. Well, we got the air slider off of old Margaret, so we continue working on this hoist mechanism in this frame. We need to get this hoist mechanism off of old Margaret so we can start working on the frame and the axles and the wheelbase. We put quite a bit of work into that 3-point hitch adapter plate, and we didn't fix it. I don't know if you noticed, it kept falling off the front. It fell off once off camera. I put it back on. I thought everything was good to go, and then it just fell off again. So something's definitely not right with that thing. I don't know if when we overloaded it, we bent it, but also opened it up. The tool plate on the skid loader definitely needs some attention. It's needed it ever since we first got it, but I never would think that would fall off of there. Just got the old tried and true material handling bucket out there, hooked the chain on it, lifted it right off. If we would have tried to do that from the beginning, we'd have been done two and a half hours ago. So I don't know about that 3-point hitch adapter plate. I might just we might just throw that in the scrap pile because I'm getting really frustrated with it, and we might have to find a different method for lifting things off the front of the skid loader. Maybe a new set of forks. Something's got to be better than a tool plate falling off and almost hurting yourself. This is off of here. Now we're ready to move on to the next thing. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments in that section below, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button your way out. This thing, one step closer, many more to go. Thanks for watching, everyone.